Back in Pearl here for game 5 of 6 between the Mississippi Mud Monsters and the Evansville Otters. The Otters evened the series up yesterday, a final score of 8-1, as it is now a 2-2 series heading into this Saturday night 5th game of the series. The Otters scored 4 in the first inning off of a few hits. Firstly, the safety squeeze from Logan Brown, bringing in John Ponder from third. Then the two-run double by Dre Dirksen. RBI single for Sam Linscott put the Otters up early 4-0 in the first. Then in the third, they got another run across, RBI single from Sam Linscott. Meanwhile, Ryan Wiltsey was having a phenomenal performance on the mound, 5 scoreless with 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. The Otters put up 3 more in the top of the 7th inning. 2-run triple for Bridges. He ends up scoring on a pop fly to shallow right field. TJ Salvaggio ended up getting credited for the sacrifice fly there to make it 8-0. The Mud Monsters would score 1 in the bottom half, but the bullpen, combination of Morrissey, Cribble, and Nolan Thebe, ends up getting the job done in the final 3 frames in order to pick up the victory. As the Otters are now 36-25, and as we near the end of July, the Otters are close to tying their win total from last year already. 40 wins last year, 40-56. They're now 36-25. Or sorry, 37-25. It's even better. And they need 3 wins to tie their season total in wins last year, and 4 to tie their win total from 2024. This is best team we've seen so far since 2023, in which they went all the way to the Frontier League Championship Series, and hopefully get even farther than that this season. We'll take a look at the umpires for today. Wes Dunkel's behind the plate calling the balls and strikes with Dylan Self at first. Crew Chief Jose Muriente at third. Mississippi yesterday had a very rough stretch offensively. They went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The bottom 7 in their lineup went 1 for 24. And the top 2, Braylon Skinner and Kyle Booker, who are the top 2 again today, they went 5 for 8. So Mississippi is going to need the bottom, most of their order to do a little bit more offensively here in Game 5. The Otters are getting some reinforcements back. We have Blake Robertson coming off the IL. He's going to be in the starting lineup today, and LG Castillo is back as well. Last time they were both in the lineup was the game right before the All-Star break on July 12th, Game 2 of the doubleheader against Sussex. Since then, LG has only played 1 game, and that was on the 19th against Windy City. Blake Robertson has been on the IL for the entirety of this stint between then and now. So some good reinforcements coming for the Otters, some good offense, and a couple of guys that are hitting over 300 against Mississippi this season. The Otters are 8-1 on Saturday, and they're looking to tie their longest winning streak on the road this season, going back to when they beat Lake Erie 3 straight games over at Forefront Field. On the other side for Mississippi, Correll Paz is falling in the lineup yet again. He's down to 6th in the order. He started the series batting 3rd the first 2 games, and then is 5th, and then now he's batting 6th. As moving up in the lineup is Victor Diaz. He's now in the cleanup spot. Tevis Payne's doing the catching again today. Mississippi, though, 5-13 when he catches so far this season, and 2-7 when Victor Diaz catches. Those are the main 2 catchers on the roster. They had a catcher with a record over 500 when he catches. His name's Andrew Simo. We saw him earlier this season when the Mud Monsters came to Evansville, but they ended up trading him to Staten Island in the Atlantic League back on July 7th, and the duo of Payne and Diaz have not really led to many good results for Mississippi. We'll see if that can change here today on this Saturday. Same with Slater Shield. He's back in the lineup. He missed the last 2 games as he's looking to break out of his major slump. He's 1 for his last 21, and he's hitting 115 in July. He's batting in the 9 spot today at second base. He's looking to get out of that major slump as the Otters and the Mud Monsters face off here in Game 5. We'll take a look at the pitching matchups. It's Junior Serta getting the start. Serta time for the 3rd time this season he is starting. His first start of the year back on the 10th against Sussex A little much to be desired. Gave up 3 runs, 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. It was only 3 innings, but pitched better. Got his first win as a starter this season on the 19th against Windy City. He threw 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. On the other side, and taking the mound right now is John Walsh. A little bit of a newer signing for Mississippi, signed back on July 1st. Is a 7.5 ERA in 12 innings pitched. This will be his 4th game. His 4th start overall, as well, as we are just about to get to the anthem. So we'll take a quick break before first pitch on the Otters Digital Network. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game before and after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. The Frontier League Network, powered by HTN, is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Head to EvansvilleOtters.com to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this year. Defense for Mississippi, it's Kyle Booker in left field with Braylon Skinner in center, Krell Paz in right. Travis Holt at third with Josh Shelley at short, Slater Shield at second, and A.J. Fritz at first with Tevis Payne doing the catching for John Walsh. Let's take a look at the lineup for Evansville. It's John Ponder, Monty Jones, top 2 yet again. Logan Brown hitting third, doing the catching today for Junior Serta. Marcos Gonzalez is in the cleanup spot again at third. Dennis Pierce is at first. Blake Robertson, back off the IL, is in left field batting sixth. LG Castillo is also back. He's DHing today. Sam Linscott batting eighth in right field, and TJ Salvaggio batting ninth. On the other side for Mississippi, it's Skinner and Booker yet again, with Fritz batting third. Victor Diaz is the DH, hitting fourth today. Travis Holtz at third, batting fifth. Krell Paz, mentioned in the pregame, he's down to the 6 hole in right field. Tevis Payne is batting seventh, doing the catching. Josh Shelley batting eighth at shortstop. And Slater Shield, the 9-hitter, at second base. 4th start of the season for John Walsh. Signed back on July 1st. His last start was his shortest of the season. He went 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout earned the loss. His record's now at a 1-1 as he has 7 walks compared to 7 strikeouts and a whip at almost 2. So it's been a little bit of a rough start for Walsh, pitching from the left side as he'll face off against a righty, true righty, a switch hitter, and a true lefty to start off here in Ponder, Jones, and Brown. Four straight All-Stars facing off against Walsh to start here for Evansville, and Ponder, Jones, Brown, and Gonzalez. Salvaggio hitting ninth, so there will be a stretch of 5 straight All-Stars that Walsh will have to face later on. But for now, first pitch is called a strike at 6. 6. I think it was just 6, guys. They're going to call it 6:01, though. They kind of have to because they do it because of the time zone. If they started the game at 6, what's the area code for 6:00? Canada. So, yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that. 1-2 here to ponder. Starting off here in the top of the first inning. Otters looking to win the season series. They would take a 7-5 lead and clinch that if they win today. If they lose, it'll be 6-5. But Otters, with the win yesterday, cannot lose the season series. They can only tie it if they drop the last 2 here. Grounder back up the middle into center field for a base hit. John Ponder leading off the top of the first with a single. The Otters are getting things started here. Ponder led off the top of the first with a single yesterday, and 4 runs came in. So you never really know what's going to happen. Monty Jones, his first at-bat of the day. Struggling a little bit in July. He's hitting at a 239 compared to his normal 288 for the season in terms of the average, but went 2 for 5 yesterday with a run scored. Hitting 222 against Mississippi after his 2 for 5 yesterday. 1-0. Little outside for ball 2. Jones 2 for 5 after a couple of 0 for 4s. He started off 0 for 8 in the series. Ends up getting his 19th multi-hit game as that's called a strike. Ponder on first, 21 of 32 in terms of stolen bases. He's looking right into the sun right now, though. Otters had those 4 stolen bases when Diaz was catching. Might be a little harder to steal on Tevis Payne. Low and away, and it's 3-1 to Jones. In terms of the walks, Walsh walked 2 in his first start, 1 in his second, and then 4 in his last start back on the 19th. That is inside, and it is ball 4. So Jones will take first on the walk. Ponder will advance to second base, and 2 on with nobody out for Logan Brown. Otters already in a good spot here, as we're going to have an early mound visit, which means we're going to have an early look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Isn't that fun? There's not many games going on right now, but Twa and Ottawa are tied up at 0. Twattawa, maybe? We calling that series the Twattawa series? Just thinking of something new. 1-0 Tri-Cities beating New Jersey in the third. Sussex is down 3-0 in the second against New York. And that's about it. That's about all we got. Well, luckily, it was a pretty quick mound visit. Corners in. First pitch to Logan Brown. Does show bunt. Pulls it back, and it's called a strike. Well, tomorrow is a 6:01 start. It's a late start on a Sunday, which means we're going to be the Frontier League standalone game. Yet again, it's always nice to be the standalone game. Runner goes for third. Tevis Payne's throw is not in time as Ponder steals third base. That's a big rarity, seeing an Otter take third, but Ponder thought he could make it, and he was right. Stolen base number 22. Jones stays at first, though. So runners at the corners. And now we could see another safety squeeze. No bunt showed. Grounder, high chopper over to third. That will score Ponder. Throw to first is in time. It didn't look like it, but that does bring in a run. Billy Easley's having a chat with Dylan Self at first base. Basically a safety squeeze, bringing in Ponder from third. So the Otters have a 1-0 lead. It's pretty similar to what we saw to the start of yesterday's game. Marcos Gonzalez now with a man on second and 1 out. First pitch misses a little high for ball 1. Marcos, 1 for 4 yesterday. Walked and struck out twice. Still hitting .350 against Mississippi this year. Roller over to third. That's a fair ball. Throw on to first is not in time as Holt couldn't get it out of the glove in time. So an infield single for Gonzalez will put 2 on yet again for Dennis Pierce. I feel as though Holt got a little bit lucky on that grounder from Logan Brown, but that one had a little bit of a hesitation, an extra second or two, and it allowed Gonzalez to reach. So that's the second hit of the inning for Evansville, and a big chance here for Dennis Pierce. 1 for 2 yesterday. He walked 3 times. High fly ball into center field. Braylon Skinner waiting a while for it to come down, but he'll make the catch for out number 2. Well, that'll bring up Blake Robertson for the first time since July 12th. Was on the IL, got taken off the IL. Ryan Wiltsey got put on the 7-day in the corresponding move. Robertson back in a big opportunity here. The shift on him. First pitch swung on and missed at a good slider from Walsh, and it's 0-1. B-Rob hitting .287 in 40 games before his injury. Had a little bit of a rough series at Sussex, but before that, when the Otters played Gateway, he played great. Quickly down 0-2 here. Has had a 3-hit game before against Mississippi. 3 for 3 back on June 20th. I'm not too sure what happened to cause the stoppage right there, but .0-2. High fly ball into center field. Now Braylon Skinner will catch 2 of the 3 outs in the first inning. The Otters do get a run across, though, as the RBI ground out from Logan Brown puts Evansville up 1-0, heading to the bottom of the first on the Otters digital network. First innings brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. Junior Serta is on the mound. His 3rd start of the season. He's currently at a 3.12 ERA in 26 innings, 11 walks compared to 27 strikeouts. He has 11 saves on the year and is sitting at a 2-0 record. Got his first win as a starter in his last outing. I was back on the 19th against Windy City. Through 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. As we take a look at the defense for Evansville, it's Robertson, Ponder, and Lynn Scott left to right field. Gonzalez, Salvaggio, Jones, and Pierce third to first, with Logan Brown doing the catching for Serta. Starting things off here with Braylon Skinner, the usual leadoff man for Mississippi. 2 for 4 day yesterday. Mentioned 5 for 8 from both Skinner and Booker combined. The rest of the lineup yesterday, 1 for 24. Only the single from Tevis Payne, the only other hit. So that one's fouled away. It's 1-1. Skinner has a hit in 3 of 4 games in this series. Went 0 for 3 in the first game on Tuesday. 1-1 a little inside. Hitting .321 compared to his .294 last year. And also his first All-Star selection. He ended up going 0 for 2 in the actual game. As that one's a base hit down the line in right field. Linscott's going to cut it off. Skinner's going to try for second, and he'll get there diving with a leadoff double. So Skinner continuing to hit well against the Otters this season, and another guy, Kyle Booker, coming up to the dish. These guys have been tormenting Otters pitching so far this season. And Booker has driven in 16 runs against the Otters this year. Has a chance to increase that with a man in scoring position and nobody out. Took one batter as well, and Mississippi has more extra base hits than they did yesterday. Serta a couple looks back. Now kicks and deals the first pitch to Booker as that one is hit into center field for a base hit. Skinner had a late start. He's still rounding third. He'll come in to score. And manufacturing a run of the top 2 yet again as Booker drives in his 17th run against the Otters this year. And it's 1-1. Double and a single lead off the bottom of the first for Mississippi, and they've already tied things up 2 batters in. So Booker now on first, nobody out. First pitch to Fritz, a little low and away for ball 1. Fritz still in a bit of a slump. 3 for his last 28 in his last 8 games, but 2 of those hits have come in this series. Ended up going 0 for 4 yesterday, though. So that one's fouled away off to the right side. It's 1-1. Fritz overall in July hitting .233. One. Little away for ball 2. Serta still yet to record his first out of the day. Mississippi has grounded into their fair share of double plays, though. That is if Booker doesn't take off from first. 17 for 22 on stolen bases. He's covered over there by Dennis Pierce. So that one's fouled off the netting, and it's 2-2. AJ Fritz started off very well this season. Had a hit in 16 of his first 19 games, but has had a very rough month of June. Runner goes 2-2. Called a ball throw to second is not in time as Booker takes his 20th base of the year. Sorry, his 18th. And he's now in scoring position representing the go-ahead run. A payoff here to Fritz. Walk puts 2 on with nobody out for Victor Diaz. Grounder up the middle into center field, a base hit. Booker is now getting around third. He'll come in to score as the throw is cut off, and AJ Fritz has given the Mud Monsters a 2-0 or 2-1 lead here in the first inning. So 3 hits already here. 3 batters in. Mississippi has already had half of their hit total from yesterday. They've taken a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first. Now Victor Diaz standing in now. Fritz on first after his RBI single gives Mississippi the lead. Swing and a miss for strike one. Diaz hitting at a 186. He's coming off a back-to-back 0 for 4s, including yesterday went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Check swing over to first, and he did go around. That's strike two. Diaz from Azua in the Dominican Republic, 24 years old, mostly just a catcher slash DH. He's DHing today with Tevis Payne behind the dish. 0-2. Grounder over to short. Salvaggio flipped to Jones for one. On to first. A double play. 6-4-3. Twin Killing gets the first 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. That will empty the bases now for Travis Holt. Travis Holt not really hitting too well against the Otters this year. He's 0 for his last 5 in this series after a 2 for 4 on Wednesday. Fly ball into center field right at Ponder for out number 3. So Serta gets a quick 3 outs, but 2 runs come in for Mississippi. RBI single from Booker and Fritz have given Mississippi a 2-1 lead as we head to the second on the Otters digital network. Top of the second inning, Mississippi has a 2-1 lead as LG Castillo, he's back. And he's looking to tie things up here. If anybody's bound to hit a homer here at Trustmark Park, it is most likely going to be him because he is, before the games he missed, was doing a lot of home run hitting. He's up to 8 on the year as we have a delay because mascots are taking forever to get off the field. Now we're about to get started. 1 game since the All-Star break. That was on the 19th against Windy City. He went 2 for 3, hit a double, drove in 2 runs. First pitch misses for ball 1. Castillo hitting at a 335, 52 hits in 41 games. He's hitting 350 against Mississippi this year. Gets another high ball, and it's 2-0. The Otters scored 1 in the top of the first. Mississippi responded in kind. Their top 3 bringing in 2 runs. Slow breaking ball, called a strike. Now Walsh does not throw too fast. Pitching from the left side, Otters have been hitting the ball pretty well against lefties so far this season. That is in the dirt for ball 3. Against lefties, LG's hitting .306. 3-1. That is high and away for ball 4. So Castillo doesn't even take the bat off the shoulder, and he'll take first base. Second walk issued by Walsh. And the second straight leadoff man to reach for the Otters. Now that'll bring up Sam Linscott. Still on a nice little hitting streak. Up to 8 games. Had his first multi-hit game in the hit streak, though, yesterday. 2 for 5. Drove in a couple runs. Back-to-back RBI singles in the first inning and the third. 1-0. Slow breaking ball misses high. And it's 2-0. Well, so far this season, it's been a little bit of a weird split for Walsh. He pitches to a 12.6 ERA against lefties, but a 3.86 against righties, which is very interesting. So we have a mound visit here. Does pitch to a 3.6 ERA at home compared to 10.29 away. Now, this is a very short sample size considering the fact this is only his 4th start. But Walsh trying to get out of a little predicament here in a pitcher's count. No, not a pitcher's count. Opposite of that. 2-0. Three and 0. So that one misses high and inside. He's only walked 3 guys one other time. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. Walsh spent last season with the Rocky Mountain Vibes of the Pioneer League. He was actually teammates with Sam Linscott last year. As Linscott was on Rocky Mountain as well in the Pioneer League. So these guys know each other quite well. Linscott will take ball 4, though. And that's the third walk issued by Walsh, second straight to start the second inning. And 2 are on here with nobody out for TJ Salvaggio. Corner's in here. Expecting the bunt being showed by Salvaggio. First pitch doesn't show it, and it's called a strike. Walsh, 26 years old. He's from Eagle, Colorado. Spent 4 seasons with Arkansas Tech and then 2 years with Ottawa in Kansas. Not Canada, Kansas. Ripped down the line, but it's foul. Heads into the picnic area out there in left field. It's quickly 0-2. Castillo on second, Linscott on first. Nobody out here in the second as the Otters try to tie things up. 0-2. Opposite field fly ball into right field. Pause will make the catch out there for out number 1. So Linscott lets it travel, sends it the other way. Just hangs up a little too long, and Pause is able to run it down out there in right field, fighting the sun. Back to the top of the lineup, John Ponder. Well, overall, Walsh didn't get too much playing time in his collegiate seasons. His most was 26 1/3. That was in his last year, 2024, with Ottawa. First pitch a little high for ball 1. 14 scoreless outings, though, in that season. And then in the summer, he played in the Western Canadian League with the Medicine Hat Mavericks. It's always the weirdest names of places in Canada. Fouled away off to the right side. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Ponder, on the other hand, was at Georgia State for a couple years, then Georgia Gwinnett. Hit .363 his senior year after hitting .421 in 2023. First team All-NAIA American. Also won a Gold Glove. Then 91 hits in 52 games. He almost got 2 hits per game. 3-1 as that one will miss high and outside. So Ponder at Georgia State hit .389 in a shortened 23-game sample size, 7 for 18. Before transferring to NAIA, fouled back off the roof, and it's 3-2. That was not sure if you could hear that on the crowd mic, but that was very loud off the surface of the roof. So Ponder ended up reaching base in 30 straight games to start off the season. Had a very great start to the year. 11-game hitting streak as well to start the season. That is called strike 3 on the inner half, as Ponder will go down looking for out number 2. First K for Walsh. And after walking the first 2, he's now 1 out away from keeping the lead intact for Mississippi. Well, Ponder, so far, his streak has reached in 12 straight. It's now 13 after the single in the first inning. Now it'll be Amani Jones to try and bring in a run here. First pitch slider hits the zone for strike 1. 72 on that one. Walked in the first inning. Outside, it's 1-1. You see, though, John Walsh not pitching the fastest. 72, 75. Fastest I've seen is around like 85, 86. Inside, that one was 85. And it's 2-1. They're not going to see too much speed for Walsh, but you will see some speed out of the bullpen whenever Walsh comes out of the game. 2-1, a high fly ball into right center. Pause calling off Skinner. In right field, he'll make the catch for out number 3. As Walsh gets out of the jam, he walks the first 2, but induces 2 flyouts and a strikeout looking of Ponder to keep it 2-1 Mud Monsters, as we'll head to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the second inning. Second inning brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service. And Construction Company. It's 2-1 Mississippi as the Otters are looking to come back from down just one. But Serta's got to get a scoreless frame here in the second inning. He gave up 2 in the first on 3 straight hits to start the bottom of the first inning. And it'll be Paz, Payne, and Shelley to start off, facing off against Serta for the first time today. Or for Paz, first time facing off against Serta ever. Paz 0 for his last 7 after an 0 for 3 yesterday. He's been moving down in the order. He was 3rd, then he was 5th, and now he's batting 6th. So the first few games, it was the 3 lefties at the top, but now it's just Skinner and Booker up there. First pitch is called a ball. 1-0 is called a strike. Pause against righties, 222. Pause against lefties, 222. We'll never know what side he hits better off of. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Pause now in his 9th game. Sitting a lot better on the road to start the season than at home. 133 here at Trustmark Park. Serta's 1-2. A little outside. Serta in the first inning was pitching with the sun in his face. Now the shade's moving. Sun's setting here in Pearl. Two-two. Fly ball into center field. Ponder is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Well, the first 3 reached for Mississippi in the first inning. First out here on the first batter in the second. Tevis Payne, his first at-bat of the day. So far in July, he's hitting 289. And against the Otters, 308. 8 for 26. He had that game back on June 3rd in which he had his first professional triple and first professional home run in the same game. And by the way, that's still the only triple and home run he's hit this season. 1-0 is going to miss. Payne from San Jose, California. Most recently played for Houston Christian in his collegiate career last season. Hit 264, but hit 346 in conference play. Houston Christian playing in the Southland Conference. 3-0 from Serta is called a strike. That Houston Christian team finished 32-25. They ended up winning the Southland Conference. They went 5-0 in the tournament after only going 17-13 in conference play. Low and away, and that's ball 4. Payne will take the walk. First walk issued by Serta. And there's a runner on first with 1 out for Josh Shelley. Payne 6 for 8 on stolen bases this season. Shelley is having a rough series. He is 0 for his last 9. 3 straight 0 for 3s after a 2 for 4 game on Tuesday. Runner goes first pitch. Called a strike, though, to second is not in time as Payne will take his 7th bag of the year, and he's into scoring position. Oh, Mississippi was tied for second in steals, 132. It's them and Tri-City and New Jersey up there at the top in terms of speed. A little outside for ball 1. Otters not necessarily fast. They're fast, but don't really run too often. But Very good at hitting. Second in average, third in on base, fourth in slugging, fourth in OPS, fourth in hits. OPS as a team, 840. .840, only behind Florence, New Jersey, and Quebec. Quebec at a 900, which is insane. One, two. It's called strike three, and Shelley goes down looking. First K for Serta today, and that's out number 2. Leaves the runner on second in pain right there. Now for the bottom of the order in Slater's Shield. Mississippi up 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Shield against Serta this season, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. First pitch grounder over to first. Nice snag from Pierce. Race to the bag, and Pierce will win it as that's out number 3. Great play defensively at first for Dennis Pierce as we will head to the third inning. 2-1 Mud Monsters on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the third inning here as the Otters are down 2-1 to the Mud Monsters. They've had a good amount of traffic, but have only managed to bring one run across. Walsh has walked 3, has given up 2 hits. It'll be Logan Brown, Marcos Gonzalez, and Dennis Pierce leading off. Pierce just had a good defensive play at first base to save a possible run from coming in. If that gets past him, Payne definitely scores from second base, but still a 2-1 game as Logan Brown stands in for his second at-bat of the day. He grounded out to third base and brought in the only run for the Otters today. First pitch from Walsh is a little inside for ball 1. Well, Logan Brown hitting .327 against lefties this year. So that one's called a strike. A classic shift going on for Logan Brown as everybody moving over to the right side. 3 defenders over there. Grounder over to second, a sliding grab from Shield. His throw to first is in time for out number 1. A good play at second base from Slater. Shield gets the first out in the top of the third. The first out recorded relatively quickly for Walsh in the third, as that'll bring up Marcos Gonzalez. I found a little bit of a weird stat about Marcos. He's hitting his OPS in day games is 1246. I wild. He's hitting 469 in day games, and he's hitting 255 in night games. Our next day game is on Wednesday against New York. So look for Marcos to have maybe a 5-hit day then. You never know. 2-1 from Walsh. Called a strike. And it's 2-2. Gonzalez sitting at a 319 now after a 1-for-4 yesterday. 8 homers, 44 RBIs. Otters have not hit a homer this entire series. Mississippi only has 1. Fly ball into right field, veering foul, and that will land in the stands. Remains at 2-2. Gonzalez spent last season with Gary South Shore along with Serta and LG Castillo. Hit 265, only 41 games for him. Didn't play his first game of the year until July 13th. Now, by July 13th this year, Gonzalez had already played 50 games. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Gonzalez goes down swinging on the high fastball. Second K of the day for Walsh, and the first 2 retired here in the top of the third. Gonzalez, that's strikeout number 52, still leading the team in Ks. His K percentage is at a 21, which is still somehow below the league average of 24. That just means the Otters don't strike out all that much. They have 436 coming into today's festivities, which is the 3rd best mark in the Frontier League. We have another delay for something. Wes Dunkel behind the plate is looking over to center field. I don't see what the problem is. I know as much as you as to what just happened there. 0-1 to Pierce. Called a strike, and it's 0-2. Pierce flew to center field in his first at-bat. 0-2 a little high and away. Pierce against Mississippi last season was 8 for 28, hit a homer, walked 4 times, struck out 6. This year he's hitting 220. A little low, and it's 2-2. He's had a good couple of games after a decent slump that went for a pretty long time, even through the All-Star break. Fly ball into right field, going back his paws. He's at the wall, and it's gone! 11th homer of the year for Dennis Pearson. He goes the other way to tie the game up at 2. Third homer against the Monsters this season. Gets that one to go the other way. Extends his team lead to the big 1-1. And we're tied up. Now Blake Robertson. First pitch inside for ball 1. Off the bat, didn't look like it was going to go out, but Paz just kept on running back, kept on carrying, and it went over to the Farm Bureau grill sign. Left center field, and a diving catch, but he could not hang on to it as Robertson will head into second base. That was almost a spectacular catch and left by Booker, but he couldn't hang on. So Robertson will head into second base, which I think will most likely be a double. Can't be. I don't think that can be called an error because that was a full extension attempt at a catch there from Booker. And I think they're going to agree there and call that one a double. So LG trying to give the Otters the lead here in the third. Fly ball into center field, going back is Skinner, and he will make the catch for out number 3. But Dennis Pierce hits a solo homer the other way. His 11th of the year ties the game up at 2, heading to the bottom of the third on the Otters digital network. So the first homer of the series for Evansville is from Dennis Pierce as he ties the game up at 2 here in the bottom of the third now. Third inning brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. Top of the lineup yet again here. Skinner, Booker, Fritz. They combined to manufacture the 2 runs that came across from Mississippi in the first inning. Now Serta facing them for the second time, looking to get a better result than he did the first time. Skinner doubled into the right field corner, ended up scoring. First pitch here from Serta. Grounder up the middle. That is into center field for a base hit. So Braylon Skinner 2 for 2 now against Serta as he leads off the third with a single. Skinner 31 stolen bases this year, 31 for 42. Definitely a opportunity for him to try and get into scoring position here with Booker, who has already driven in a run today. He drove in Skinner in the first inning. First pitch, bunt showed, and it's going to get off the netting. Makes it 0-1. Booker might be trying to put together a little infield single here. He's already extended his hitting streak to 10 games after this RBI single in the first inning. He came around to score on the RBI single from Fritz, who's on deck. Throw back to first is in the turf. Doesn't get past Pierce, though. His sunglasses fly off. Hopefully they're not broken. Well, luckily for Pierce, he isn't in the sun anymore, so he doesn't even really need them. The 0-1. Just misses outside. It's ball 1. Booker was with Oral Roberts in 2024. 317, 60 games, all Summit League second team. That was after 3 seasons at Tennessee, which he was playing under Tony Vitello, who's now the manager for the Giants. Called a strike, and it's 1-2. He was teammates with a lot of MLB guys. Chase Dolander, Chase Burns, Seth Halverson, Christian Moore, Jordan Beck, Drew Gilbert, Ben Joyce, just to name a few. Tennessee, a very good program that won a national championship in that time span as well. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Booker strikes out. Swinging second K for Serta, and that's out number 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. A.J. Fritz. Skinner still has not yet to, is yet to take off from first. Doesn't hear as that one misses high and in. Fritz, 26 years old. His birthday's coming up pretty soon, couple weeks. Was with the Evansville Purple Aces his first season. Transferred to the State College of Florida in Manatee, Sarasota for 2 seasons. Went to Northwest Florida State and then LSU Shreveport. Throw back to first, close one that time, but not in time as Skinner gets back there safely. He's been in the Pioneer League his past 2 years with the Great Falls Voyagers. Misses a little outside for ball 2. Now before Fritz played with SCF Manatee Sarasota, he actually played in baseball in the fall with Pitt, but didn't end up playing spring ball there with them. Ended up going into the junior college ranks at 268 in 2021. And played with the Danville Otterbots. So, hey, A.J. Fritz, an Otter at heart. He played for the Otterbots. Fouled away. He played for the Otterbots and he played for University of Evansville. This dude is an Otter at heart. If he was really an Otter at heart, he'd ground into a double play right here. Help the Otters out a little bit. Two from Serta. Time called. Had his most collegiate home runs with Evansville in 2019. 6 of them, second on the team. 2-2. That's a liner into the gap in right center field. That'll get down. Skinner rounding second. He's heading for third. He's going to get the stop sign there as Fritz is 2 for 2. Puts runners at the corners with 1 out for Victor Diaz. Now Mississippi trying to get their lead back here in the bottom of the 3rd. Skinner 90 feet away from doing so, bringing across that 3rd run. Victor Diaz, though, has already grounded into a double play today, back in the 1st inning. So chance for a double play ball here, try to end the frame, keep things tied up at 2 heading to the 4th. First pitch from Serta. That's ripped down the line and a foul ball. 0-1. That one kept veering off to the right side. Luckily for the Otters, it's strike 1. As Fritz will head back to first base. He got pretty far. He didn't try to steal. He kept on running. Diaz was in the Astros organization for a while. 2018 to 2024. 0-1. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Was with the Astros organization at the same time as Ben Petchke. Petchke was on the Fayetteville Woodpeckers in 2024 along with Diaz. There's a chance that they were a pitcher-catcher battery. That's into center field, and it's down for a base hit. Skinner's coming in from third. He'll score, and Victor Diaz has given the Monsters their lead back. It's 3-2. Now, Travis Holt up for his second at bat. He flew out to center in his first one. It's 3 earned runs given up here from Serta on 6 hits through 2 1/3 as that one misses outside for ball 1. Holt now 0 for his last 6 against the Otters pitching. Fouled away over to the Otters dugout. Now, Travis Holt is technically the franchise home run leader. He had 11 last year, has 4 this year, up to 15. You know, the team hasn't been around for that long. But he led the team in homers last year with 11. Called a strike. Leader in homers this season is Booker. Booker has 6 this year. He had 4 last year, so it would still be Holt who is in the lead in terms of homers. Hard to hit him here. 1-2. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3 as Holt goes down swinging. Third K for Serta, and that's out number 2 as the runners will stay put at first and second. No mound visit here, so we'll relook at the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. Just real quick. Joliet Schaumburg just starting up. Same with Gateway and Lake Erie. Florence and Windy City, guys, every time Florence and Windy City plays, does it have to be a 2019 game? It's 6-4 in the second inning. Every time these two teams play, there's got to be something. There's always something with those two. Brockton's up on Washington 4-0. Quebec's beating Down East 1-0 in the fourth. 7-1, New York's up on Sussex County in the fourth. New Jersey's beating Tri-City 3-1, and in the Twadowa game, it's 4-3 Ottawa. First pitch to pause is a grounder over to second base. Ranging is Jones, flipped to second in time, and a great play at second base from Amani Jones to possibly save a run if that got past him. A run does come in, though, for Mississippi. They take the lead back 3-2 as we'll hit the fourth on the Otters Digital Network. It is the fourth inning. I don't know why I said it like that. Fourth inning here. It's 3-2 Mississippi. Lynn Scott, Salvaggio, Ponder leading off 8-9-1 against Walsh. Walsh has not been pitching bad. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Another battle of teammates from Rocky Mountain last year. Lynn Scott versus Walsh. First pitch. Bunt showed, pulled back. It's called a strike. Lynn Scott last season hit .395 with Rocky Mountain in 90 games. Had a 6-for-6 day on May 23rd against the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. The Sky Sox were not great last year. They're doing research. There's a lot of games in which the Sky Sox lost by a large amount of runs as Lynn Scott gets hit with the pitch. So he'll take first base. Second time reaching, walking and hit by a pitch for him. Now we take a look at the Sky Sox season game log from last year. I see a 25-7. I see a 20-0. I see a 23-2. I see a 20-6 as the first pitch misses for ball 1 to Salvaggio. 23-2. Any 30s? 29-12. That's a crazy one. Don't see any 30s though so far. 22-7. They won 32-13 against Grand Junction. Not sure what Grand Junction was doing. They're now the Razorback suckers in the Pecos League. 2-0. The Jackalopes don't even exist anymore. So they didn't get 30 dropped on them, but a lot of 20s. A lot of 20s. 2-0. Is called a strike. Well, Salvaggio, after the home run from Pierce, is sort of losing the home run battle a little more now. He was second. They were in a little bit of a tight race, but now 9 homers for TJ and 11 for Pierce. No throw as Lynn Scott will take second easily, and he has his 11th stolen base of the year. 3 stolen bases for Lynn Scott in this series. So he's in a scoring position, trying to tie the game back up at 3. 3-1 to Salvaggio. High chopper over to short. No play at third. Throw to first, though, is in time from Shelley. And that's out number 1. But now Lynn Scott moves to third base. He's 90 feet away from a tie ball game. Back to John Ponder for the third time. 1 for 2 for Ponder so far. Led off the game with a single, came around to score, and struck out looking in the second. Infield in. First pitch is into the gap in left center field. A base hit. In comes Lynn Scott, and we're tied back up at 3. John Ponder's second hit of the day ties things up in the 4th. Oh, this is a good little back and forth battle early here in Game 5 of the series. Ponder driving in Lynn Scott. Seems as though it's been response after response after response for both sides. First pitch now to Amani Jones. I'll throw back to first before that. Jones was with Stevenson for 3 years before transferring to Millersville. Was in the Atlantic League with the Staten Island Ferry Hawks last season. Only played 7 games with them. Staten Island is having a rough year themselves in the Atlantic League. Take a look at the standings. They are 12-70. Not great. Not ideal. They're 2-40 on the road. They've lost 8 straight games. And they have a minus 455 run differential. A little rough. 39 games back in the division. That is crazy. So a little bit of a season to forget for for Staten Island, but throwback to first, not in time. Still remains at 1-1 here as the ball game's tied up 3-3 in the top of the fourth. Well, with Staten Island, Amani Jones went 5 for 24, 7 games. All 5 hits came in 5 straight games between series against the Lancaster Stormers and the High Point Rockers. Runner goes. Throw to second is not in time as Ponder steals second base, his second bag of the day. That one was called a strike, makes it 1-2, but now the go-ahead run is in scoring position, and the Otters already have 3 stolen bases today. They already broke their season high in steals in a game earlier in this series, back on Thursday. They had 4 steals against Diaz, now they have 3 against Payne. 1-2 high, fly ball into center field. Skinner moving forward, and he'll make the catch for out number 2 as Ponder will remain at second base. Two down, and it's Logan Brown. Logan Brown, 18 two-out RBIs this season. He is definitely a fan of hitting when there's 2 down in the inning. He is 0 for 2, though, to start the day. A couple of groundouts, 1 to third, 1 to second, but his ground out to third did bring in Ponder for the first run of the game. First pitch fly ball into center field. There's Skinner yet again, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So back-to-back flyouts to center, get the last 2 outs. But John Ponder brings in the tying run as we'll head to the bottom of the fourth on the Otters digital network. Fourth inning is brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Almost did the Precision Pest and Wildlife read again. Apologies. Sort of back out there. Tie ball game yet again. It's 3-3, as it will be Payne, Shelley, and Shield leading off in the bottom of the fourth. It was a very warm one today, and I think the game tomorrow is set to be the warmest one of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall. It's going to be 94 tomorrow. It was 95 today. What sucks too is that it's supposed to be 79 degrees next Sunday. Why did we not get that weather here this week? Instead, we got smoldering hot and rainy on just one day. Interesting stuff. Tevis Payne walked in the second inning, stole second base, but did not advance further from there. That's his only at-bat so far today. First pitch is going to miss. A little low for ball 1. Serta pumping 94 to 95. The occasional 96 as well, if he's really feeling it. Called a strike. There's a 95 right down the middle, and it's 1-1. Payne hitting 265 against lefties, 550 against lefties. Sorry, 265 against righties. But 550, 11 for 20 against lefties. He is a lefty killer. So that one's called a strike, and it's 1-2. Made his pro debut back on May 21st against Windy City. Went 2 for 3 in his pro debut. Check. Over to first. Did not go around. Didn't think he did, but got to check either way. It's 2-2. It's better on the road so far this year than at home. Pretty short in terms of the gap, though. Liner passed first into right field for a base hit as Tevis Payne leads off the 4th inning with a single. He's now reached twice in 2 ABs. That'll bring up Josh Shelley. Josh Shelley's been around in terms of his collegiate career, but there was an opportunity that he didn't really have a choice. He kind of had to transfer. He was with Coastal Alabama, Monroeville in 2023, his first season. So that one's called a strike for an 0-1. But they ended up dropping their baseball program after his first year, so he was forced to transfer. And he went to Lurleen B. Wallace Community College, otherwise known as LBWCC. So that's called a strike, and it's 0-2. Now, Lurleen B. Wallace is in Andalusia, Alabama. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's a little bit north of the Alabama-Florida border. Kind of where Tallahassee, maybe Mobile is. Hit 398, though, in 53 games there. Before playing with the Baton Rouge Rougarou? I don't know. He played there for a while, 3 seasons, and was the Texas Collegiate League MVP in 2023. Hit 308, and then hit 296 in 2024. Was an All-Star. 1-2. A little outside. Now, what is a Rougarou? I don't know. I feel like I'm making myself look stupid. A Rougarou is a legendary creature in Cajun and Creole diaspora and a trickster in oral traditions. A werewolf, a type of werewolf. Fly ball into center field. Ponder will make the catch, and that's out number 1. So yesterday we learned what fathoms are, and now we know what a Rougarou is. This has been a very educational series for us. For everybody who wasn't here yesterday, we learned that fathoms are measurements of water, and they measure the outfield wall here in fathoms. It equals 1 fathom is 6 feet. First pitch is called a strike to Slater Shield. I still don't know if it's pronounced Rougarou or Rougarou. Fouled off the netting, and it's 0-2. Either way, very good with the Rougarou for 3 years. Shelley was. And now Shelley's out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Payne does already have a stolen base today in his last at-bat. He's over at first base. That was his 7th. He's 7 for 9 now. Back pick to first, and Payne gets back there safely. Logan Brown wasn't too big of a fan of how big the lead Payne had off first. The 1-2 here to Shield. Shield grounded out to Pierce at first. He's 0 for 1 to start the day off. Runner goes. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Throw to second. No, not in time. Just gets in there safely. Almost a strike him out, throw him out. But Payne ends up taking his second base of the day, but fourth strikeout for Serta is out number 2 in the fourth. Oh, Skinner, not necessarily the guy you want up right now with the runner in scoring position. He's 2 for 2. Double in the first, single in the third. Came around to score both times. It's been a big catalyst for why the game is tied up. Grounder to first. Oh, nice snag at first by Neil Ring. First base coach for Mississippi. That was a great play. Unfortunately, it's strike one. Skinner already versus Serta was 1 for 1 coming into this game. Now he's 3 for 3 this year against Serta. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Serta chance to get Skinner out for the first time this season. Skinner has just had his numbers so far. And after already starting 2 for 2, he's now up to 28 multi-hit games this season. 0-2. Punches one foul the other way. Payne on second led off with a single the other way and stole second base. It's already seen 3 stolen bases for each side today. 2 from Payne, 1 from Booker on the side of the Monsters, then 2 for Ponder and 1 for Linscott for Evansville. 0-2. Another one sprayed foul off the netting. It'll remain at 0-2. Otters 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Monsters 2 in the first and 1 in the third. They have 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Otters have 3 runs on 5 hits with no errors. Already have more hits the Monsters do than they did yesterday. 0-2. And called strike 3. Paints the corner at 96 from Serta. And it's strikeout number 5 will end things in the fourth as we head to the fifth. Still tied up at 3 on the Otters Digital Network. Fifth inning here in Pearl, Mississippi, as it is a tie ball game, 3-3. It was a bit close in terms of the traffic. Man on second with 1 out, but back-to-back strikeouts from Serta, 1 to Shield, 1 to Skinner, and we remain tied up at 3. It will be Gonzalez, Pierce, and Robertson to lead off in the fifth inning against Walsh. Marcos Gonzalez 1 for 2. He singled in the first, and that will extend his now new season high in his on base streak. 13 games he has reached base. Tied for second highest on the team with Ponder, who is also up to 13 with his singles today. But in first is Blake Robertson, who has not really gotten the chance to extend it until today. Opposite field base hit to lead off the fifth for Marcos Gonzalez, and he's 2 for 3 today. Now Gonzalez going the other way and putting together another multi-hit game. Mentioned this before, but Gonzalez always seems to put together very quiet, great offensive performances. That's multi-hit game number 19. Jay Pecci is out there. That might be the day for Walsh. It is. So going to the bullpen early is Mississippi. Just 4 innings for Walsh. Right now, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. As we will take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network. So the new pitcher into the game for Mississippi is Dallas Woolfolk. He has a 6.04 ERA in 28 and a third innings. He's given up 37 hits, 19 earned runs, 16 walks compared to 27 strikeouts, a whip a little bit under 2. He has pitched in this series already through 2 scoreless back on Wednesday. Getting the days mixed up. There's been so many games in this series. Now used to having 6. Feels like we've been here 2 weeks. Dennis Pierce hit a solo homer in his last at-bat. He's quickly in a good hitters count 2-0. Woolfolk, 29 years old. He's from Memphis. Got traded here from Schaumburg. He got traded and now is closer to his family. So I think overall a good trade for him. Called a strike, and it's 2-1. Fouled away off to the right side. Woolfolk specifically knows this place well as well because he was with DeSoto Central High School. He won a state championship here at Trustmark Park back in 2015. Grounder up the middle, off the glove of a sliding Shelley. That's going to get into center field. Rounding second and heading to third is Gonzalez. He's going to try and score. Here he comes. Great base running from Marcos, and the Otters have a 4-3 lead. A single into shallow center, and Gonzalez scores all the way from first base. He got the stop sign at third from Andy McCauley. He saw the ball. It was still yet to be picked up out there in center field. He decided, might as well, right? Takes the extra base, and Otters have their first lead since the first inning. Outside for ball one. That run is going to be earned to Walsh. So he finishes his day officially. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. That'll miss. Woolfolk working really quick here. Now the runner on first now the responsibility of him, as Dennis Pierce has his second RBI today. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Robertson has a fly out to center and a double. Double extended his on-base streak to 18 games, which, as mentioned previously, leads the squad. Payoff here with nobody out. Woolfolk kicks and deals a ball low. Gets past Payne, but Pierce doesn't really have to go fast. That was a walk, and he moves to second base as Robertson will reach for the second time today. A big opportunity here for LG to get some insurance in the 5th inning. Seems as though it's just been a lot of one run coming in and another run coming in on the other side. But luckily, the Otters have scored 2 unanswered. Not much, just 2. But they have the lead for the first time since the first inning. They have not scored multiple runs in an inning yet today, though. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the 5th. It's been very scattered today. So that one misses for ball 1. Woolfolk 4 appearances against the Otters. 3 of them with Mississippi. His last appearance with Schaumburg was actually against the Otters. Grounder back to the mound. Woolfolk throw to second for 1, on to first for 2. And the double play gets the first 2 gone in the 5th inning. A double play makes it 2 outs, as advancing to third is Pierce. That'll bring up Sam Linscott. Still an opportunity to bring in that 5th run. Linscott has reached twice already today, looking to increase that hitting streak. First pitch misses a little high. So 1-6-3 double play is the call for the first 2 outs. 1-0. Little outside. Linscott rocking an 8-gamer in terms of the hitting streak. Has a walk and a hit by pitch. Scored after the hit by pitch. So that one's fouled back, and it's 2-1. Woolfolk, his first 9 appearances were with Schaumburg this season. Overall has 15 scoreless outings on the year. Has not given up an earned run against the Otters yet in 4 innings. Oh, that's going to get way past Payne. Pierce goes to the plate, and it's bobbled by Payne. Pierce will score. That pitch way over the head of Payne. He got the good hop, but just couldn't handle it off the boards. And so Pierce comes in and makes it 5-3 Evansville. Well, that's now the first earned run for Woolfolk against the Otters this year. Grounder into deep short. Long throw from Shelley is not in time, as Linscott will reach on the infield single. So there is now that hit that extends the hitting streak for Linscott to 9 games. The longest hitting streak on the team. Nobody else has more than 3. First pitch fights one off into shallow left field. That'll drop in for a base hit as Salvaggio has his first hit of the day. Advancing to second is Linscott, and it's 2 on with 2 outs for the top of the order and John Ponder. So we will have a mound visit. Ponder is 2 for 3. He already has an RBI single in his last at-bat. The hit streak for Linscott, the longest of his season. Longest in total was Amani Jones. He had a 15-gamer at one point early on in the season. Ponder's had a 13-gamer before, which is second highest. That was between May 23rd and June 9th. Now he's hitting his last 4, so maybe he's in the workings of another one. That one gets way past Payne, and both runners will advance to second and third. Another very wild pitch from Woolfolk. Fastball as Ponder had to duck out of the way of that one. So that hit from Salvaggio, the 9th for the Otters today. One-0. Fouled back to the netting. No netting there. Would have domed me right in the head. 1-1. Most hits the Otters have had in a game is 25. Not sure that's going to get beaten this season. That was the 18-2 victory against Lake Erie. Outside, it's 2-1. So unbeatable, in fact, that hit total is actually the most hits any team has had in any game this season in the entire Frontier League. 3-1. The second highest is Florence against Schaumburg back on May 29th. 24 hits for Florence. The Otters 25, the total. Grounder into center field, a base hit. 2 runs are going to come in. And John Ponder, 3 RBIs, 3 hits, and it's 7-3 Otters here in the 5th inning. Great performance from the guys offensively today. 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning. And that is 3-hit game number 4 on the year for Ponder. As he drives in 3 today, and we're only in the 5th inning. He's got a couple more opportunities to get some more runs in. Right now, Otters lead it by 4, 7-3 as Monty Jones will take a pitch outside. So now 3 earned runs given up by Woolfolk today, tying his season high. He's done that in 2 other games this year. One on June 13th against Joliet, then one on the 17th of July against Florence. The Otters have now scored 6+ runs in each of their last 3 games. Jones 0 for 2, has a walk. Throw to second is in time. And Andy McCauley immediately coming out there to argue with the call, as that didn't look right. Look at the replay. Barely, that is safe. He is safe. It's a bit of a rough call. We'll stick around here to see if Andy McCauley gets tossed. But overall, a very good inning as the Otters bring in 4 runs. Jose Muriente over at second base as Andy McCauley still arguing over to the right of second base. Surprised he hasn't been tossed yet. Looking like that's going to stay that way unless he still has some more to say as he's walking off the field. I didn't see any signal to show that he got tossed, so I don't think he did. It's been a couple of opportunities in this series where you'd think he would, but he's still there. Still there. The clubhouse here in Mississippi is in the left field concourse. So that means if you get ejected, you have to walk up the stands to get back to the locker room. Be a bit of a demoralizing walk, but either way, Ponder gets caught stealing at second base, and that will do it for the top of the fifth inning. But now we're already back here in the bottom of the fifth. 7-3. Serta pitching with a big lead now for the first time today. Four runs coming in on the couple of singles from both Pierce and Linscott. Then the 2 RBI single by Ponder has put the Otters on top 7-3. It'll be Booker, Fritz, and Diaz leading off in the bottom of the fifth inning as we're halfway home here. Fifth inning, of course, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive or 715 North Green River Road for details. See if Serta can go get through 5 here. Has given up the 3 runs, but if he gets through the fifth inning here, he'll be in line for the victory if this score holds. Kyle Booker 1 for 2 so far today. First pitch is crushed into right field, and Kyle Booker hits it out. First pitch of the inning, and Kyle Booker sends one off out of the right field wall. His 7th homer of the year extends the team lead there. And he has now driven in 17 runs against the Otters this year, including 3 homers. Good for the Otters, though. They got that insurance in the 5th inning. It's now 7-4. Well, not the best start here for Serta in the 5th inning, but still an opportunity to keep things at a solid lead, 7-4. Fritz takes strike 1. Fritz 2 for 2, though. RBI single in the first, then a single in the third as he matrixes his way out of a pitch high and inside. Fritz has as many hits today as he did in the rest of the series combined. Started the series 2 for 14. Now he's 2 for 2 today. One, 2 from Serta. Just misses outside. Fritz with LSU Shreveport hit .333 his last collegiate season, at .358 in 2023. A lot of 3-hit games during that season as that one misses low and away for ball 3. Was also in the Great Lakes Collegiate League in 2023 with the Licking County Settlers. Another episode of weird collegiate summer league team names. The Licking County Settlers. You know, researching all these guys, you find collegiate leagues that you've never heard of before. I had no idea the Hamptons Collegiate League existed until I had to research a guy who played for him. Grounder over to first, bobbled by Pierce, but he'll recover. Flip to Serta, who tags the bag for out number 1. Well, luckily the bobble for Pierce landed right back in his glove, so he was able to not panic and get that first out. That'll bring up Diaz. He is 1 for 2. Drove in what was the go-ahead run in the third inning, made it a 3-2 game. Grounded into a double play in the first. Chopper to short. Salvaggio. Throw on to first is in time for out number 2. Bit of a slow roller, but Salvaggio able to make a quick throw over there for out number 2. Now Travis Holt up for his third at-bat. He's 0 for 2. Fly out to center, a strikeout swinging. Otters lead at 7-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs. First pitch is called a strike from Serta. That one at 96. Haven't seen a 97 yet. That's a true test for Serta. If you can get a 97, then maybe I'll be impressed. Outside, and it's 1-1. We've seen Holt so much in a Mississippi uniform this season that it's kind of hard to believe that he was with Schaumburg at one point. Foul tip, and it's 1-2. One, 2 here to Holt. Schaumburg, he had a 246 average in 67 games with Butler. Last collegiate season in 2022, he had 309. That is called strike 3, and Holt goes down looking. 6 strikeouts for Serta. And that will do it for the 5th inning. Kyle Booker, though, the first pitch, he hits a homer over to right field. But the Otters still lead at 7-4 on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 6th inning here in Pearl. We have a new pitcher into the game for the Mud Monsters. It's Jackson Smith, I think the last guy out of the bullpen we have not seen yet in this series for Mississippi. Jackson Smith has a 5 ERA and 54 innings pitched. He has a 4-2 record, 56 hits, 30 earned runs. He has 26 walks compared to 41 strikeouts and a whip at 1.52. First time pitching in this series. The last time he pitched was back on the 18th against Florence. They'll face off against Jones, Brown, and Gonzalez to lead off the 6th inning with the Otters on top 7-4. Jones was up to end the 5th inning before Ponder got caught stealing. First pitch called a strike. So Smith has a little bit of a interesting sidearm rotation when he pitches. Bit of a submarine guy. Maybe he's a fan of fathoms. I don't miss it. It's 1-1. So Jones is 0 for 2. He has a walk in the first inning. Looking for that first hit of the day, though. Otters have 10 hits as that one hits the zone. Called strike 2. In that last game against Florence, Smith threw 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Gave up a homer. He's given up 6 homers so far this season. He's only pitched in 1 game against the Otters this year. 1-2. Fouled away off the netting. June 30 pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and got the win against Evansville. And that's back when he was a starter. He's kind of been in a weird rotation between starter and reliever this season. Fouled away yet again as Monty Jones stays alive. Because in his outing before, on July 12th against Windy City, he threw 7 innings. Gave up 2 runs, got his 4th win. But before that, 3 innings out of the bullpen with 4 walks and 3 strikeouts, but it was scoreless. So he's doing a little bit of both this year. Grounder down the third base line. That will go foul, and Jones will have to head back to the dish. As a reliever so far this season, Smith has 7 outings coming out of the pen. His highest in terms of innings pitched was those 2 3-inning games on the 18th and the 7th. Originally from Raymond, Mississippi, a little bit west of here. One, two. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Jackson Smith has his first strikeout of the day. Only the 3rd for Mississippi pitching, and that's out number 1. Now you gotta wonder if Smith was named Jackson because of the city. You just gotta wonder, you know? Could have been. Maybe, you never know. I don't know his parents. So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if you're watching, did you name Jackson after Jackson? Let me know. Logan Brown fouls one off. It's 0-1. Another one fouled away, this time just back to the boards. It's 0-2. Smith has walked multiple batters in 7 of his last 9 outings. And that doesn't include the last one against Florence. He didn't walk anybody, but before that he walked 5 in 7 innings against Windy City. He only has 2 scoreless outings this year, both of them out of the bullpen, both of them in May. May 9th versus Gateway, May 16th versus Lake Erie. The 3 innings on the 7th of July against Joliet. He didn't give up any earned runs, but gave up a run. Liner right at second base. Shield was positioned perfectly as he makes the catch for out number 2. First 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Marcos Gonzalez up to bat for the 4th time. He's 2 for 3 today. 2 singles. Singled in the 5th inning. Came around to score from first on a single to shallow center. First pitch that was behind him. Smith was with Mississippi last season at a 3.06 ERA and 35 and a third innings out of the pen. Had a season high in innings pitched against the Otters last year. August 12th, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run. Also got his only win of the year on the 12th. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. Well, in that game, August 12th last season, the Monsters won 4-3. Braden Forsythe got the save, and the loss went to Parker Brahms. Everybody that remembers Parker Brahms from last season. Outside, and it's 2-2. From what I see, Parker Brahms is not playing baseball right now. After last year with the Otters. Grounder into left field, a base hit. Marcos Gonzalez is 3 for 4 today. Second Otter to get 3 hits today behind Ponder. Gonzalez is the team leader in 3-hit games. That is his 10th of the year. A 10 3-hit games. Second on the team is Amani Jones with 7. Nobody else has more than 5. Marcos Gonzalez having a great day offensively. So is Dennis Pierce, who is 2 for 3. Has a homer and a single. Has driven in 2 runs. Has also scored twice. Pierce leading the team in 2-out RBIs with 19. Right in front of Logan Brown. Fouled away, it's 1-2. Smith looking to throw the first scoreless inning for Mississippi since the second. 1-1. That is called a strike. Pierce hit 17 homers last season with Evansville. He's got 11 now this year. About a month and a half left. Chance to beat that one, but he swings and misses at strike 3 as Smith gets 2 Ks in the inning. The Otters don't bring a run across. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Evansville up 7-4 on the Otters Digital Network. Sixth inning is brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve since 1914. Junior Serta is only at 81 pitches, so he's out here for the 6th inning. There's somebody warming in the bullpen for Evansville, so might have to be perfect here in the 6th if he wants to get through the full thing. But still, he is here in the 6th inning, and he's facing off against Paz, Payne, and Shelley to start. Pause 0 for 2. Fly out to center, grounded into a fielder's choice to end the 3rd. Something going on here between Dunkel and Logan Brown, but small short delay before we get going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Serta's season high is 5. That was in his last outing against Windy City. So anything further than that will be a new season high for him. And is still in line for the victory if things stay the way they are. Pitch clock violation is going to go on Paz, and it is 0-2. Mentioned previously, Serta was with Gary last season along with Marcos Gonzalez and LG Castillo, but he was traded there on August 3rd, so he didn't play the whole season there. He was traded along with cash for Alex McGarry. Swung on and missed strike 3, and Paz goes down swinging on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 7 for Serta, and he has a new season high, 5 1/3 innings. Also a new season high in strikeouts. He got that a decent amount of time ago back in the 4th. First pitch a little low and away to Tevis Payne. Mentioned he hasn't started any games since 2024-25 season, in which he was with the Tigres de Cartagena in the Colombian Winter League. Fly ball into right field. Linscott has space, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Well, he said Serta needs to be perfect if he wanted to get through the 6th inning, and he's been perfect so far. 2 up, 2 down. Dylan Zentko is warming. I feel like we haven't seen Zentko in a while, but he's looking to be the first guy out of the pen here for Evansville. Josh Shelley, he's 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. Serta still pumping 95 in the 6th inning. Has not lost a step at all. Now, talk about the Columbia Winter League, though. He started 5 games then. Grounder off the third base bag, and it's going to get into left field. Heading to second is Shelley, as he has himself a very short double. A bit of a lucky strike there for Shelley, as Gonzalez was getting there. Honestly, it would have been a tough play for Gonzalez if he had gotten it, but the ball going off the bag allowed him to take the extra base. And a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs for Shield. Now, this is going to be the last batter for Serta. 100%. Going to put Zenko in for the lefties at the top of the order. First pitch. Just to see if he can get that third out. Check swing, no go, and it's 1-0. So that one was a little inside. Serta was in the D-backs organization along with Alex Valdez for a little bit. Breaking ball, called a strike, and it's 1-1. Last season with the D-backs was in 2024. He was with the Hillsboro Hops in High A. His teammates with Merrill Kelly. Now sent back down, though, to Visalia before getting released. Signing with the Kansas City Monarchs. Was there until he got traded to Gary. High fly ball into center field. Ponder waiting for it to come down, and it comes down into the glove for out number 3. Junior Serta, 6 innings for the first time this season. Gives up the 4 runs, but is in line for the victory as we'll head to the 7th. 7-4 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network. So Junior Serta finishes his day. I was pretty sure he's finishing the day. 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. As they're going to put in Dylan Zenko for the 7th to face off against Skinner and Booker at the top of the lineup, the two lefties against the lefty pitcher. For now, Smith is still in the game, and he'll face off against Robertson, Castillo, and Linscott to lead off the top of the 7th. B-Rob is 1 for 2, has reached twice, double and a walk. First pitch just outside for ball 1. Well, Smith spent his collegiate seasons in Mississippi, Northwest Mississippi Community College for 2 years, and then 3 years with regular Mississippi College. So that one's called a strike, and it's 1-1. His last season with Mississippi College, it was 5.5 ERA in 34 1/3 innings. Mississippi College in Clinton, Mississippi, which is a suburb of Jackson. A little outside, it's 2-1. His best season was in 2021, 3.28 ERA in 24 2/3. Led the team in a couple of different categories, appearances and games out of the bullpen. So that one's fouled away. Foul ball, brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Northwest Mississippi Community College is in Senatobia, a little south of Memphis. Inside, scoots him back a little bit. It's a full count, 3-2. 7-4 here in the top of the 7th. Otters have 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors. On the other side, Mississippi has 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Jackson Smith now has 3 strikeouts today. First out in the top of the 7th, and that'll bring up LG Castillo. LG's 0 for 2, has a walk in the 2nd inning. First pitch is called a strike. Now the Otters play New York starting on Tuesday. Finally out of this place. No, for real, it's been a fun series so far. High chopper up the middle. Shelley scoops it up. Throw to first is not in time, and LG legs out an infield single. Hit number 13 on the day for Evansville. Sorry, number 12. LG's first of the day. Quite possibly will be one of those days in which everybody on the Otters lineup gets a base hit. Still waiting on Logan Brown and Amani Jones, but Logan Brown has brought in a run. Amani Jones has reached. Both of them still doing good things. Also, Amani Jones has been playing some good defense over at second base. First pitch called a strike to Linscott. Linscott's 1 for 1. He's reached in all 3 of his at-bats. Walk, hit by pitch, and a single. Ripped into right field. Right at pause, though, as he'll make the catch for out number 2. LG heads back to first base. We're talking a little bit more about the New York series. It's a $2 Tuesday on Tuesday, of course, because it's called $2 Tuesday. That's a 6:35 start. And then if you want to play hooky from work and come to Bossy Field on Wednesday, 12:05 between the Otters and the Boulders. And then Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, we can all drink and have fun. I can't drink, but everyone who goes to the field as a fan can, if they're of age, of course. Drink responsibly. That's a 6:35 first pitch. Inside, it's 1-1. Should be a good one against a pretty good New York side. New York currently fighting for a top spot in the division in the East with the New Jersey Jackals. High fly ball into right field. Pause. is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So 2 scoreless out of the pen for Jackson Smith, including 2 straight flyouts to pause and right to end the top of the 7th. Time to stretch. 7-4 Otts on the Otters Digital Network. Seventh inning is brought to you by Jacobs Pub. Jacobs Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays at 607 North Main Street in Evansville, Indiana. While the citizens of Jackson, Mississippi are doing the Cotton Eye Joe, we have a pitching change. Dylan Zentko is into the game. He's gotten a lot of rest. He has not pitched since July 8th against Gateway through an inning and a third scoreless. So nice to see him back. Both him and Cribble hadn't pitched in a while. It was mostly Eckes being used as the main lefty out of the bullpen, but now Zentko back here. 3.32 ERA, 19 innings. He's given up 15 hits, 7 earned runs, but has 8 walks compared to 20 strikeouts. And he's mostly going to be used as a lefty-on-lefty guy here for the top 2 in the order in Skinner and Booker. Zentko, along with Morrissey, a couple of the first guys that were signed after a 2026 collegiate season. Got a few more guys now. Morse, Bridges. So Braylon Skinner leading off here, 2 for 3, has a double in the first, a single in the third, came around to score both times. Struck out looking in the fourth. First time facing a lefty today. First pitch from Zentko, we'll have to wait as we have a mound visit, so we'll, I guess, take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Yay, out-of-town scoreboard. 4-1, Joliet's beaten Schaumburg on the road in the 5th inning. 7-0, Gateway is one-hitting Lake Erie in the 5th. 7-7 in the 5th inning between Florence and Windy City. Brockton scored 7 in the 7th inning, and they're winning 11-2 against Washington. That's good for the Otters. Quebec's up 5-0 on Down East. Sussex is down 9-3 against New York. New Jersey's beaten Tri-City 6-3, and Troyes scored 3 in the last 2 frames and came back to beat Ottawa in the Ottawa game. 6-4. First pitch called a strike to Skinner. Oh, 1 just misses low. Now, Skinner so far this season is hitting .292 against lefties compared to .330 against righties. So it is a little worse, but he's still .292 is nothing to scoff at. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Zentko's pitched against Mississippi twice this season. June 3rd, scoreless frame. That was his first pro outing. That was against Mississippi. Same with Morrissey on the same day. A little low, and it's 2-2. Second outing, he threw 2 innings, gave up 1 earned, struck out 3, though, on the 21st. Two. Grounder over to first. It eats up Pierce, and it's going to get into shallow right field. Skinner's heading for second base, and he's going to get there standing with a leadoff double. Most likely going to call that one a hit. That's the third hit of the day for Skinner. Still haven't made a decision quite yet. They will call it a double. So Kyle Booker stands in after the double from Skinner. Leading off the 7th inning with a 2-bagger. First pitch is going to miss just outside for ball 1. For Skinner, his second double today, overall his 11th on the year. First pitch called a strike. Sorry, second pitch called a strike. It's 1-1. One pitch. High fly ball off to the left side. It's going to get out of play. Foul makes it 1-2. Zenko this season for Murray State had a 5.64 ERA in 30 and a third innings. Made it to the All-MVC second team, Murray State. Second in the conference in saves. Was a mid-season stopper of the year watch list selection as well. Swung on and missed strike 3 as he gets Booker swinging. Second K for Booker today. And first for Zenko, it's out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th. So AJ Fritz standing in. First pitch called a strike. Fritz is 2 for 3. Already has an RBI single. Back in the first inning, singled in the third, then grounded out to Pierce at first in the 5th inning. See if Zenko can get out of this one scoreless. That one's fouled away. It's a good start here, 0-2 against Fritz. If he does, it will be an opportunity for Zenko to possibly maybe go some long distance in the bullpen. He's done it before. 5 of his 9 outings have been 2+ innings. 2 of them have been 3+. Fritz just pokes that one foul to stay alive. Zenko's also struck out 3 batters or more in 5 of his 9 outings as well. Definitely a good strikeout pitcher. Already has one in this inning. Looking back to second base, 0-2. A little outside. Murray State this season finished 33-27, 15-9 in conference. They won 2 of 3 at Evansville to end the regular season. They started off with a couple of wins in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament against Illinois State and Indiana State, but then they lost their next 2. Fly ball into left field right at Robertson, who makes the catch for out number 2. I think that's the first time we've seen anything get hit to Robertson today, at least in terms of a fly ball. It's the first 7, at least, I've written in the scorebook. So after the leadoff double now, 2 are down, and Zenko a chance to put things away here without giving up a run. First pitch a little outside to Victor Diaz. Well, before Murray State, Zenko was with only Central College. Couple years there. Played in the Prospect League for a little bit with the Terre Haute Rex. We saw Colby Morse and Slater Shield both played with the Terre Haute Rex. Ripped and over the leap of Salvaggio. It's short. Rounding third is Skinner. He'll come in to score. And Victor Diaz has his second RBI single of the day. Mississippi cuts the lead a little shorter. It's 7-5. So the run charge to Zentko. Otters still in the lead, but it's getting a little closer here in the 7th inning. I'll be warming in the bullpen. This is Zentko's inning to finish. It'll be against Travis Holt, who is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. First pitch is called a strike. So Diaz now with 2 RBIs today out of the 5 runs scored by Mississippi. Grounder down the third base line, foul. It's 0-2. For Diaz, that's his second multi-hit game of the season. First one was a 3 for 4. Hit a double, hit a homer on the 9th against Joliet. He has 2 homers already this season, though, now 9 RBIs after his 2 today. 0-2. Fouled back. Holt only has 1 game with 3 strikeouts this season. That was back on May 22nd against Schaumburg. Zentko trying to make it 2 games with 3 strikeouts. 0-2. Got him. He does just that. Has 2 strikeouts in the inning for Zentko, gets him out of it. The Monsters do get a run in, though, as Victor Diaz drives in a 5th run. It's 7-5 Evansville, as we'll head to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network. Seven 5 Evansville here in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Ponder, Jones, and Logan Brown, the top 3 leading off against Jackson Smith. Gotta realize that he can just go the rest of the game if he wanted to. He's spot starter for them, so he's definitely used to going, 3 innings, 4 innings or more, but see how he does here in the 8th against the top of the order. Ponder's 3 for 4 today. He's been a big part of why the Otters are in the lead right now. He's driven in 3 runs. He's gotten 3 hits. His 4th 3-hit game of the season. His season high in RBIs is 4. He's done that twice. That was back on June 17th against Lake Erie, June 28th against Florence, as that first pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. 0-1 misses a little low. Ponder has 2 4-hit games. May 23rd against Windy City, he went 4 for 4, and also went 4 for 4 on June 20th against Mississippi. Fouled back. He's one of the few players in the Frontier League as well with a 5-hit game, 5 for 7. Drove in 4 runs on that June 17th game against Lake Erie. The Otters put up 18 runs on 25 hits. Alex Valdez looking like he's up and moving around in the bullpen for Evansville. 1-2's fouled away. Ponder also has a strikeout today, which means he has a strikeout in 13 of his last 16 games. He's striking out a lot more than he did earlier on in the year, but you get 3 hits, 1 strikeout is not going to hurt you too much. 1-2. Just misses outside. A little low. 2-2. The Otters scored 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then 4 in the 5th inning to bring their 7 runs across. On the other side, 2 in the first for Mississippi, 1 in the third, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th. As that one got past Payne, and it's a full count, 3-2. The Otters looking to take the season series with a win today. Would be up 7-4. Grounder over to short. Shelley scoops it up. Easy throw on over to first in time for out number 1. First man retired in the 8th inning, Amani Jones. The Otters just in need of 6 outs before they can get that season series win. And if they win as well, they can't lose this series, this 6-gamer. They can only tie if they lose tomorrow. Which is definitely a very big improvement considering the first 2 games, how they went. Lost both games by 1 run, a couple of pretty rough endings, but now 6 outs away from taking the lead in the series. That one's called a strike, and it's 1-1. Especially this would be a big win for Evansville, considering the fact that looking like Washington's going to lose 11-2 right now. If they win, they deserve to win. Outside, and it's 2-1. Florence, it's 11-7 in the 5th inning. So you can't really call it over, though, because of the amount of runs that have come in, but it's another high-scoring one between Florence and Windy City. It just keeps on happening. Grounder up the middle, ranging is Shelley. His throw to first is going to get past the first baseman, Fritz. No advance, though, from first for Jones. It'll be an error. And Amani Jones reaches for the 2nd time today. Not sure what they're going to call that one. I haven't seen any sort of decision yet. Either way, no, they will call it an error. That's what I assumed, but you can't be too sure. So the E6, man on first with 1 out for Logan Brown. Ripped foul off to the left side. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Logan Brown 0 for 4 today. Chopper right in front of home. Tevis Payne's throw to first is in time for out number 2. Amani Jones will advance to second base. Opportunity for Marcos to get his 4th hit of the day and bring in a run. Gonzalez, 9 3-hit games, but only 1 4-hit game. That was back on June 28th against Florence. He went 4 for 5, hit a homer, drove in 5 runs, which is his season high. RBI total. Right now, even though he's 3 for 4, he doesn't have any RBIs. First pitch called a strike. 0-1 here from Smith. Otters in need of that 1 run back just to make things a little more comfortable. The bullpen, though, Valdez, Woolgamuth, who will probably see if this stays in a save situation, have been pretty good out of the pen. 1-1 grounder down the third base line, just foul as it's scooped up by Holt. A 1-2, an opportunity here for Smith to get out of things. Gonzalez already has a strikeout today. Has a strikeout in his last 5 games now. Smith looking back to second base. Kicks and fires. That is called strike 3 as the breaking ball freezes Gonzalez. 4th K for Smith, and he gets through the top of the 8th scoreless. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Otters hanging on to a 2-run lead, 7-5 on the Otters Digital Network. Eighth innings brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember, who can help with all of your pest control needs? McMahon can. So we're sticking with Zenko for the bottom of the 8th to face off against the lefty and pause, and then most likely going to take Zenko out for Valdez to face off against Payne and Shelley, the other two in the lineup, both righties. They're going trying the traditional lefty-lefty, though, against Pause, and Pause so far today is 0 for 3. Fly out fielder's choice, and a strikeout swinging was the 7th of 7 Ks for Serta. Pause is hitting a strict 222 against both lefties and righties this season. So maybe it won't matter, but still, a better opportunity here against the lefty-lefty. First pitch swung on and missed. Now, Zenko's last outing went an inning and a third, so could get back-to-back here if he gets this at first out in the 8th. 0-1. Fouled away right over the press box. And it's 0-2. A good start here for Zenko. Trying to get pause before Valdez comes into the game. Oh, 2. Chopper right in front of home plate. Logan Brown, barehand throw to first in time. Great play from Logan Brown. Needed to go quick. Catches it barehanded and lasers it over to Pierce at first base. And that will do it for Dylan Zenko. 1 1/3, 1 run given up, 1 earned, 2 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts, as we will have a pitching change here in Mississippi. Otters up 7-5. We'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network. Pitching change is brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your batter needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-4759-K. Alex Valdez is into the game. 4.05 ERA and 33 1/3 innings so far this season. He pitched a couple days ago. This is his third game in this series. He pitched on Tuesday, he pitched on Thursday, now he's pitching today on Saturday. His 7th game against Mississippi this year. As the first pitch is called a strike right down the middle. Tevis Payne is 1 for 2, walked in the second, singled in the fourth, stole second base both times, but did not advance further from there. Grounder to short, Salvaggio going to have to work quick. Great throw to first, and it's in time for out number 2. Another great defensive play from Salvaggio at short, and it's a quick second out in the 8th. Oh, that was close. Josh Shelley doubled in the 6th inning. He hit a ball that went off of the third base bag and into shallow left field. He ended up getting into second base with a double. A double number 4 on the year for him. A little low. It's 1-1. Otters 4 outs away from a victory here in Game 5 of the series. 1-1 grounder into left field for a base hit, and Shelley will reach his second hit of the day. He's 2 for 4, and that'll bring the tying run up to the plate in Slater Shield. Oh no, we're going to have a pinch hitter. Samuel De La Rosa is pinch hitting for Slater Shield. So that should mean either Rose or Vantrell Reed, fresh off the IL, is going to take over at second base, because De La Rosa does not play second base. He's going to be pinch hitting. He has 3 homers, 13 RBIs, hitting at a .270. It's a big test here for Valdez. First pitch called a strike. Was 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. That one's in the dirt. Good block from Logan Brown, and it's 1-1. De La Rosa 2 for 13 in this series. A little bit of a delay. De La Rosa, 8 multi-hit games, also 8 games with multiple strikeouts, including yesterday. Strike out a decent amount, 19 walks compared to 30 Ks. He faces a 1-1 here with Shelley on first. Shelley has not attempted a stolen base yet this season. 1-1 is called strike 2. Now Valdez 1 strike away from keeping it a 7-5 game, heading to the 9th. Got to get De La Rosa here. 1-2. Swinging a foul tip. Reaches out and just stays alive as that one goes foul. Logan Brown might have caught a piece of the ball there. We'll have another small delay as we'll check in on some of the games. Nothing much has really changed in terms of the out-of-town scoreboards. 14-2 Brockton now over Washington. And so Evansville, 5 games out of first if they take this one. High fly ball. It's going to get out of play, foul. Pierce giving it a look, but that will land off the roof. No to remain at 1-2. Serta's still in line for the victory if this score holds. Walsh in line for the loss. The Otters look to win 3 straight after dropping the first 2 in the series. One, 2. Little low, and it's a good take from De La Rosa. Makes it an even 2-2 count. De La Rosa actually hitting better against righties than lefties, 286 to 200. All 3 of his homers have come against righties as well. Fouled away yet again. And the battle continues here between Valdez and De La Rosa. This is a must-get out here for Valdez, because then it's the top of the order in Skinner. And he already has 3 hits today. 2-2. Grounder to third. Gonzalez throw across the diamond on a couple hops to first, but it's snagged by Pierce for out number 3. A huge third out for Valdez as he finishes the job in the bottom of the 8th. We'll head to the 9th. Otters still up 7-5 on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the ninth, a nice little scoreless eighth for both Zenko and Mr. Valdez, as it is still 7-5, and Smith is still out there for the ninth. It'll be Pierce, Robertson, and Castillo looking to get some insurance, as much insurance as they can here. It's a 2-run lead already, as it's looking like we'll see Wolgamuth in for the bottom half, try and get his second save of the year, but maybe get a run or two more and make things a little more comfortable for him. Especially, too, because Skinner, Booker, Fritz are leading off in the ninth, and they have done some real damage against the Otters today. First pitch a little inside for ball one. Pierce so far today, he's 2 for 4, hit a homer in the third, singled in the fifth, came around to score both times. Also has a fly out to center and a strikeout already against Smith. Called a strike, it's 1-1. Pierce was already hitting .342 against Mississippi heading into this game. Might be boosted as well if he can get a third hit here. He does have 19 multi-hit games coming into this one. 2-1. Grounder over to short. Shelley grabs it, tosses it over to first in time for out number 1. Now that'll bring up Blake Robertson. 1 for 3, has a double in the third inning, walked in the fifth. Just like Dennis Pierce, he also has a fly out to center and a strikeout swinging against Jackson Smith. That one just misses outside for ball 1. Robertson was on the IL. This is his first game back since July 12th. Fly ball into deep left center field, and making the running catch out there is Booker for out number 2. He goes all the way to the center field wall. The momentum carrying him all the way over there. That one is out number 2. So quickly 2 down here for Smith. Now in his 4th inning of work, as he's really done a good job at helping out the bullpen here, but offense has not gotten the lead back. First pitch to Castillo is fouled away. Castillo 1 for 3. Both teams with 12 hits. Grounder off of Smith over to short. Shelley, bare hand throw to first is way over the head of Fritz, and Castillo will reach on what might be an infield single. The runner gets called out. So LG Castillo is called out for, I think, making an advance towards second base. After that one, they tagged him and he was called out. Now Andy McCauley is back in the face of Dylan Self at first base. Oh, not too much talking there. LG Castillo just smiling. He always is smiling, even when stuff doesn't really go his way. Well, Nate Wolgamuth is into the game here for the bottom of the 9th inning, as we will be right back on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the ninth. Otters 3 outs away from taking game 5 of the series. And it is Nate Woolgamuth into the game, looking to get his second save of the year. By the way, the Castillo play is gonna be ruled a single. So he does get his second hit of the day, but out number 3 called on him after a play in which apparently he did try to go to second base after the throw got over the head of Fritz, and they tag him, and whatever. That's in the past now. Woolgamuth has not given up an earned run, only 3 innings. He hasn't gotten to pitch too much because the Otters have not been in too many save situations. He did pitch on the 18th against Windy City through a third of an inning, walked a guy, struck out a guy, gave up a hit, and then the rain came, and he wasn't allowed to finish the inning because the game got finalized. Before that, he was a scoreless inning, and his only save of the year so far on the 9th against Gateway. But has yet to give up an earned run so far, as it'll be a tough task here in the 9th. Top 3 in the order, Skinner, Booker, Fritz, have combined for 8 hits of the 12 for Mississippi. If you include Victor Diaz, now 9. Josh Shelley has 2 hits as well. Swing and a miss for strike 1. They just need 3 more outs. And we can head out of here with a season series win, and we can't lose the 6-gamer if this one holds. That one's outside, and it's 1-1. Woolgamuth was with the Otters last season. 2.25 ERA, 8 innings pitched. He got 4 saves. He was the closer last year for a little bit before getting his contract purchased by Houston. Check swing over to third. It's a no-go, and it's 2-1. It's 2-1 from Woolgamuth. That's ripped down the line, and that's a fair ball. It's going to get all the way into the corner. Braylon Skinner, his 4th hit of the day, and his 3rd double as he's into second base for the 3rd time. He leads off the 9th with a double. That was the reason he was named an All-Star. 4 for 5 with 3 doubles today. And now Kyle Booker represents the tying run. It has just been a nightmare for Otters pitching to get through these guys in the lineup. Both teams now tied back up at 13 hits each. That run will just make it a 1-run game. You just got to watch out for the homer, as Booker does already have one today. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. Booker 2 for 4, has an RBI single in the first, a homer in the 5th, but 2 strikeouts as well. The 1-0. Fly ball into center field, Ponders under it, and he will make the catch. No tag at second from Skinner. He'll stay there, and that's out number 1 in the 9th. So big out number 1 for Woolgamuth, and it doesn't advance the runner from second base. That'll bring up A.J. Fritz. Fritz also 2 for 4 today. 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats, 1 RBI, 1 in the first inning, but since then a grounder and a flyout to Robertson in left field. First pitch from Woolgamuth is outside for ball 1. It has been a career night for Skinner. Still, Mississippi close to losing this one. Inside and a little low for ball 2. Runners in scoring position. A.J. Fritz is hitting 184, 7 for 38. The 2-0. Foul down the third base line, and it's 2-1. For Wolgemuth, that's only the third hit he's given up this season. Now in 3 1/3. He's yet to give up that first run of the season. Still a chance to do that here in the bottom of the ninth, especially easier with the 1 out recorded on the fly out to center. 2-1. Check swing, he did go, and it's 2-2. Otters pitching has recorded 9 strikeouts today. 7 from Serta, 2 from Zentko. Compared to only 1 walk. 2-2. High fly ball into foul ground. Pierce running after it is not going to have it as it goes off the netting. Valiant effort from Dennis Pierce, but unable to get to that one. It's going to remain at 2-2 as both Pierce Jones and Linscott heading back to their respective positions. Now Fritz lives to see another pitch here. 7-5 in the bottom of the ninth. Braylon Skinner stands on second base. 2-2. There's a fly ball into shallow center field. Ponder is able to run it down and make the catch for out number 2. Ponder had to go a long way to get that one. Originally thought he was going to try and dive and make that one, but he was able to get it while staying on 2 feet. And the Otters 1 out away from winning Game 5. Victor Diaz. He is also 2 for 4. The top 4 in the lineup has done a lot of the heavy lifting here for Mississippi's offense. Mud Monsters down to their last out. First pitch is low for ball 1. Diaz has 2 RBI singles, one in the third, one in the 7th. 1-0. Fouled over to Mississippi's dugout, and it's 1-1. Wolgemuth 4 strikeouts this season, 2 walks. Diaz has had 2 groundouts to short. It's the 2 outs he's recorded so far today. One of them was a double play. The only double play grounded into by Mississippi. Swung on and missed, and Mississippi's down to their last strike here in the bottom of the ninth. 1-2. Here with 2 outs. Wolgemuth looking for save number 2. Otters looking for win number 38. Kicks and fires. Got him swinging, and the Otters win. Evansville has won 3 straight after dropping the first 2 games of the series, and a close game going the Otters' way here. 7-5 the final as Wolgemuth picks up his 2nd save of the year. Otters now win the season series against Mississippi. They're up 7-4, and they can be 8-4 with a win tomorrow. They can also take the series with a win tomorrow, as they currently lead it 3-2 in this 6-gamer. It was a very good win for the guys. They scored 1 in the first on a grounder from Logan Brown. Mississippi responds. They score 2 in the bottom of the first, couple of RBI singles from Booker and Fritz. They score 1 in the third, tied up. Mississippi takes the lead back in the bottom half. Then in the fourth, Otters tie things up yet again. RBI single from John Ponder. But then in the 5th inning, they really pulled ahead, and they got their 7th run in that inning as well. 4 runs, including Ponder's 2-run single to make it a 7-3 game. It was a valiant effort at comeback for Mississippi and a career day from Braylon Skinner, but unfortunately Mississippi is going to get the loss as they're now 11 games under 500 at 27-38. Otters are 13 games over 500 as they are now 38-25. They win their third straight game, tied their season high now, their third straight road win, which is the second time they've done that this season. And all around, it was a good performance. Junior Serta is going to get his second straight win as he goes 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Wolgemuth gets the save. John Walsh will get the loss after giving up 4 earned, 6 hits, 4 innings with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. And overall, good day offensively from the guys as well. They finished with 7 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the third straight game, which is a new high as well. Their longest errorless streak, 3 straight games there. On the other side for Mississippi, 5 runs, 13 hits. The two teams tied in hits and 1 error for the Mud Monsters. Overall, a very good day from John Ponder. He got 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Another 3-hit day from Marcos Gonzalez. Dennis Pierce hit his 11th home run as Blake Robertson gets a double in his return. LG Castillo comes back and gets a couple of base hits. Everybody ate today, and it was an all-around good team victory for the Otts as they take their third straight game. And tomorrow, they will try to take the series. Same time, 6:01. It'll be a night game on a Sunday, Sunday night baseball. For everybody here at Trustmark Park, I'm Evan Patoka. We'll see you then. Have a good rest of your night.